Welcome to the Transform Your Wealth and Health podcast, where experts in wealth, health, and fitness help transform your life. Here's your host, Andy Arter.
Hi, and welcome to the Transform Your Wealth and Health podcast. I wanted to give you a few ideas of how you might automate your fitness regimes. So here's 10 ways of which you can automate and systemize some of the fitness ideas and regimes and exercises that you ought to be doing to keep yourself fit. So here's the first one. Number one, timed alarms. So alarms on your phone, reminders basically to come up and tell you that you should have done that exercise. It's time to do that exercise, or go on that walk, or get your bike out, or take the dog for a walk, whatever it might be. That little gentle reminder that helps you get on with it, basically. Number two, tick lists. Always works for me. Write it all down. As you've done it, you tick it off. At the end of the day, if you haven't ticked it off, you've got to get on with it and you've got to do it. It's one of the things that I used quite effectively. It means you've just got to do it. Number three, MyFitnessPal. This was the game changer for me. MyFitnessPal, the app, which told me all about what I was eating, but also my steps. And you can put fitness exercises on there as well. So just use the app to your benefit. It not only counts your food, but it counts your steps and your exercise levels too. Preparing your food. So if you prepare your food in advance, you can automate the system. So in other words, you could do 2 or 3 days. You don't have to think about what you're going to eat. You've already prepared it in advance. You just pull it from the fridge and eat it. It's eating by numbers, basically. You haven't got to think. If you have to think, sometimes you think, oh, do I really want this now? Should I, shan't I? Shall I go and eat that unhealthy thing? Nope, it's already been done. It's already been decided for you. You just eat what's in front of you. It's eating by numbers. Magazines. Magazines, whether they're online or coming in the post, they tend to come at the same time. So normally, let's say for example, at the beginning of the month, you'll get your message come through from the online magazine companies that your online magazine is in your inbox, or you may get your magazine come out into the newsagents or drop through the letterbox. So if you subscribe to a magazine, it will normally turn up at the same time. So it's like an automation. It will come through. You can then use it regularly at the same time of the month or the same time of the week, and make sure that you fulfill your exercise regimes by following the magazines. The alarms going off. Now, just an ordinary alarm on your clock going off in the morning can spark you into action. So I used to use this where I would make sure that I got up. In the summer this was, I'm not so good in the winter, let's be honest. But in the summer I would be up at 5 to 5:30, up first things first, exercises. I will get back into it again soon, I promise myself. Maybe not so early, not in the winter at least. As we've gone into spring now, I suppose I've got no more excuses, so I better get on. And when that alarm went off, I got up, and the first things I was doing after I got myself organised was exercises, and half an hour roughly of exercises. They were punishing exercises for me. They got my heart beating, got the adrenaline going, and set me up for the day. You could set up a calendar. Now, throughout the year, you've got a various amount of things that you might want to hit. So in other words, you want to be able to do X amount of press-ups by a certain date, or possibly you want to go into maybe it was a bodybuilding show, or you're going to do a 10-kilometer run. So you need to be hitting those dates on the calendar, and you need to have a calendar set up so that your training regime goes with it. So in other words, if you're going to prepare for a certain event, you're going to need to diarise it, put it on a calendar and make it happen. Another way of automation. You could subscribe to a blog. Now, a blog tends to be, the ones I've got anyway, tend to be either daily or weekly. They come out on a regular basis. Also, same thing with emails. If you subscribe on an email to a company or person that sends out regular emails, they keep you regular with your exercises. So I tend to put them through the Facebook group as well. Not hugely regular from me, but at least 2 or 3 a week. So once again, you would get a way of keeping your exercise regimes regular by things like Facebook groups or emails or subscription to blogs. What about classes? Who goes to a regular class or football training session or something that turns out to be every single week or every single month. If it's a special event, obviously you might do something slightly different, but these classes that people do, maybe aerobics or dance exercise classes, they tend to be a regular basis, can be 2-3 times a week. If you want them to, you could probably do them every single day in your area. So if you look out for classes that will automate your exercises without you even trying, all you'd have to do is make sure you turn up at the right time, the right place, and get on with the classes. Do the classes, end of the week, you've done a certain amount of exercise just by following the local classes. And number 10, you could use your Wii Fit to remind you when you switch it on of the exercises that you've done previously and how long ago you did them. Normally a bit of a shake up when you switch it on, you haven't done anything for months. But even so, it's an automated reminder of what you've done and how long ago you did it. So if you're doing it every day, it's probably a nice reminder and means you can keep up a regular exercise regime. So hope those 10 items are good for you. I'll just go over them quickly. You could use timed reminders, alarms on your phone. You could use tick lists. Number 3, you could use MyFitnessPal. You could prepare your food in advance. You could use your magazine subscriptions as a regular reminder to read up on articles relating to your exercise. You could use an alarm clock to go off and make sure that you jump into action. You could subscribe to blogs and emails on a regular basis. And you could set up a calendar and Wii Fit to remind you of the exercises you've done previously on Wii Fit. And finally, you could use your local exercise classes to make sure that you attend and keep yourself fit on a regular basis. They tend to be very regular. You should be able to find them nice and easy. No excuses. Go for it now. Talk to you next week. I hope you enjoyed that episode, and until next time, start transforming your wealth and health now.